Good morning, Kim.
Good morning.
How are
We're
you today?
back.
We're back. You never know what's going to show up on the Kim and Julie show.
That's for sure.
Yeah. I've got some, I always say I have juicy stuff, but this one I love, love. And today we're going to talk about how to make sales and leads with 0 followers.
What? Not possible.
I hear you. That's what I hear from everybody all the time. And I'm like, you know what? We're going to come on here and we're just going to spill the tea today and share all the goodness with everybody so they can realize that it's not all about chasing the followers and the numbers.
Amazing. I'm here
Yeah.
for it. Because, like I said, we literally, right before we went live, we were talking. Today's my daughter's last day of school. And she's in fourth grade. She's going into fifth, but she made the sixth grade basketball team. And so they start practicing tomorrow. And they have games this summer and they have practice. And I looked at you and I was like, who has time to work? So I have time to chase fads and trends and followers. And I was like, I just want to be strategic and perform and get results and impact people and still live my life.
Exactly. I was just telling you, like I said before we got on live, I wish I would have known about this, gosh, 10 years ago, because I literally put 238,000 miles on my minivan, chasing kids back and forth to practices and games and all their sporting activities. And I absolutely loved it. But if I would have known about the Pinterest platform back then and to know that I could generate sales and leads on autopilot, it would have helped fuel the fuel bill.
You're not kidding.
Oh my gosh, fuel, tires, oil changes. I drove that van into the dirt. Literally. It ran like a beast, but yeah. And traveling gets expensive. Living the family lives that we want to live, chasing our kids.
Yep,
It's what it's all about. And being able to create that passive income on the back end
for sure.
is just, it's worth its weight in gold. So let's talk a little bit about Pinterest and how we
Wow.
can generate those sales and leads.
Oh, let because I'm here for that.
Yeah.
I love this. And it's funny because you might not have known about this 10 years ago, but 10 years from now, when you're playing with your grandkids and wherever you want and taking them to wherever they want to go, thank you, Jesus, for Pinterest.
Amen.
Whether you have your own business, whether you are an affiliate marketer with maybe a side hustle or two, Pinterest is the perfect place for you to be able to rest because it's all about strategy. And you and I know that. One of the things that we love most is that Pinterest is not another social media platform where when you create a piece of content, it kind of spikes in the algorithm over 24 to 48 hours and then it dies down. It actually takes 90 days for your content on Pinterest to really reach the peak in the algorithm. But if you think about this right now, we're in May and anything that we're pinning right now, if we choose to lean into the seasonality, we're already creating pins for August. So on Pinterest, we're creating pins that are talking about back to school, end of summer, anything like that. And by the time August comes, your pins are firing off like firecrackers. And the cool thing is, it's always going to land exactly in front of who needs it. That's the way the algorithm works. So think about this. You create a pin, the viewer reads it or they watch your video, and then every single pin you create gets to have a link attached to it. You, Mr. or Mrs. Business owner, you get to decide where that link goes. Is it a lead magnet? Do you want to grow your email list? Is it to a digital product or a physical product cart? Is it to a podcast episode or a YouTube video? Anything is possible. So if you think about how this journey works for the Pinterest consumer, I find your pin, I like it. Your offer is the next logical solution for me and my problems. So I click the link and I go outbound to wherever you, Julie, took me. Never once did I ever even land on your profile. So I don't need to follow you in order to get the goods. So now I'm in your ecosystem over here. And I think that's really important to recognize, because some people, when they learn about what's possible on Pinterest, they look at it as like an ATM machine, where I really want you to look at it as it is a super highway and your people get to decide. Have you ever seen the highways in LA or California area? I've never been there, but I've seen pictures and I'm like, how do you all know where you're going? It looks like it's
Exactly.
inside of a guinea pig made that well. But that's what Pinterest offers. It's like we're all on the main freeway together. When you find something that works, that's your off ramp, boom, you go. So you don't need followers to be successful.
Yeah, it was funny this morning. Sage was here and I'm in the baking mood. And I'm like, girl, I said, go hop onto Pinterest, type in 3-ingredient or 5-ingredient, whatever, healthy dessert. And lo and behold, we had every ingredient in the house and she's already been in there and made them. I'm literally smelling them right now. I'm surprised you can't hear my stomach growling. But that's just the beauty of it, because it's all search engine based and keyword based.
Yeah.
It's really not that hard. And what I love about it for beginners, especially, because as a beginner myself, when I started, I did the whole social media hamster wheel, just constantly running and not gaining any traction. And when I took what you taught me and literally put it on Pinterest and immediately saw the analytics that came from one pin, I might have gotten 5 views on social media, if that, when I first started. And then you can go and put it on Pinterest, where there's 537 million monthly active users. It's game changing, because within 7 days, I've got possibly hundreds of people that have looked at one pin.
Yeah.
It's mind blowing.
Yeah. I'm here for it. Whether we're on Facebook or TikTok, respectfully, I get it. As a business, you got to do what's right for the business. We're both business owners, so we understand that mentality. But that doesn't mean that we need to scroll the FYP page and just see what the system thinks we want to see.
Right.
The way that the CEO of Pinterest and his whole team strategically designed the algorithm and the search features on Pinterest is that it's only going to show you content that is similar to what you're already searching. So as a consumer, it's a safe space because you're not going to see things that you didn't ask for or that have nothing to do. It's not a waste of time for you. But if you flip the script as a marketer, you can rest assured that your content is being seen by the exact people who are already looking for it. Does that mean you're going to convert every single one of those humans? No, but it means you have a better chance of being seen by the right people. So whether they click the link today or whether they choose to save your pin to their board and plan for the future and want to come back to it later, they're basically marketing you to their network and anyone who's following their boards or checking out their account. So we essentially are building this virtual spider web, this place that builds your ecosystem. I will say with minimal effort, but I mean that. I don't say it's not work. It's actually very strategic work. And that's what we love to teach. And that's what we love to show you. That's how my brain works the best. But compare that to something that you and I have both tried in the past. And that's trying to crank out 3 reels a day for the TikTok algorithm. And that is not a sustainable life, not without a big team. This is something that the average human, the average mom, the average dad, the average grandma, whatever, you can do truly from anywhere. You and I have both worked from our hotspots on our laptop in the car while someone else was driving us down the highway creating pins. And I've worked from a cruise ship when I was like, I've got some downtime, my kid's in the thing, I've had enough sunshine, and the pins are out. You can truly work from anywhere and know this is going to feed me tomorrow, 10 months, 18 months, 24 months, etc. down the road.
Yeah. I was just thinking too, as a beginner, back to when I was doing the whole rat race of posting 3 reels a day. You can post those 3 reels a day, but the big influencers are going to tell you, but you need to go engage 15 minutes before, and then you need to post your content, and you need to go engage 15 minutes after. And then it's,
Exhausting, Julie.
it is, if you're wanting time freedom with your family,
Yeah.
that's like creating so much additional work.
Yep. Yeah.
Who has time for that?
You're that admin, you're the marketing department, you're all the things. And I'm not saying that engagement doesn't happen on Pinterest, but it's
Right.
very unlikely. They don't need to comment. They don't need to engage with you. They're not there to find out what little Timmy is doing at soccer practice this weekend. They're coming with true pains and problems, and they're actively looking for a solution. According to Pinterest, 85% of Pinterest users, they're ready right now. I've got my credit card in hand. I'm looking for a solution. I'm ready to go. The rest are there, maybe window shopping, getting inspiration, and planning for the future. So your person, even if it's not a today person, it might be a tomorrow person. And that's so freeing.
Oh, absolutely. I don't know if a lot of our listeners know, if you've not listened to any of our previous lives or don't jumped into the Pinterest Marketing Academy, your pins on social media, you're like Kim said, gonna get lost in the algorithm and it's gonna swallow you up within a couple hours if you're lucky, if you even get a couple hours. And what I love about Pinterest is the average lifespan of one pin that you create is 4 months. And that was one of the main reasons when you came across my Facebook feed and introduced me to Pinterest and show me what it could do. That was a total game changer. Time freedom, 4 months average lifespan of my pin. And I didn't have to go create a following, become best friends, go scour through Facebook groups to try and find people to follow me. It was just, who wants to
Listen,
do that? Especially I don't want to do that now, but as a beginner,
I did that as a beginner. And I'm going to tell you right now, without exaggerating, I worked myself into such a messy web that required me to show up and do these things in order to have results. And I have got this big window behind us is when I look out the window and I would see Rich and Adriana ATV riding and chasing fireflies and making s'mores out by the campfire. And I was rarely ever with them. When you retire your spouse, you've got to take into consideration, oh crap, like this business is responsible for everybody now.
it
So
becomes
that's a
real.
reality. A lot of people want to retire their spouses. And I say, hey, one, make sure you like your spouse before you retire them. Thank God my husband is the best and I love him and I love having him home. And number two, if you don't have the financial things in place, your business is going to be the thing paying the bills and seeding the dream in the future. So keep those things in mind. And I was working 7 to 9 hours a day actively. And then it got to the point where I just worked myself into the ground and I burnt out hard. I didn't want to see social media ever again. I didn't want to touch social media. I would spend the afternoons in an Epsom salt bath trying to really build myself back up to a space where I didn't feel completely depleted. And I would lay on the couch watching Hallmark during the day. And my husband never told me at the time, but he watched for a 2-week span of immense burnout. And he was like, when you first started your business, I used to get a little frustrated with how much time you spent on the computer and on the phone because we didn't really have or understand the true leverage that we have today. Pinterest, blogging, video marketing, that kind of stuff. And he said, now I freak out when you're not on the computer. So are you going to get back to work anytime soon? And shortly after that is when I stumbled accidentally upon Pinterest marketing. And I dove headfirst because to me, speaking is leverage. Like I said, video is leverage. But if you're in those moments of either busy mom life or you've mentally tanked, and that's a very real thing. I think entrepreneurs, especially when we work from home, we really are so isolated and so alone. We forget that we're herd animals. We forget that we need an interaction with people. And that's what happened to me. So when I found Pinterest, I'm like, hold on a second. I can leverage my time. I can create content that speaks directly to who needs it. And then I can go have a life. So the last 3 years of my life have been like a freaking movie. We've traveled the globe. We do everything and anything we want to, but with no limitations. I almost just let the cat out of the bag. Thank you for stopping me there, Holy Spirit. Julie, that was a close call. I will just say this. Julie's going to be here in June for a very fun week. And after this week, you'll be able to see the crazy things and the crazy experiences we're doing because time is no longer an issue.
Exactly. Oof, that's so good. That is so good. I've got a web or no, a live webinar coming up on Friday.
I'm going to
That
drop
I
the link right now because if you're
yes, drop it.
watching or listening, you have got to be at this webinar. I didn't mean to steal your thunder. I'm going to
No,
tell us about it.
that's okay. So it's this Friday, 12 Central, and I tell you, it's short and sweet. I did it on a Friday over your lunch hour, so you can grab lunch, you can get it in and let it resonate with you, and maybe think about it over the weekend. But I will tell you, you and I have came up with a never seen before gift that we are offering during this webinar, and I get so excited about it. But you've got to be live in the room. And I promise you, it's short and sweet. It's under 20 minutes, and then we're going to take questions as they come in. But y'all, I'm telling you, time freedom, and you want to create a side hustle or retire yourself from your 9 to 5, retire your husband from his job, whatever it is for you, this is really a no brainer. And if you don't, and I was thinking earlier, if you feel like you don't have anything to offer on Pinterest, anybody who is live today can drop the word live in the comments, and I'm going to send you my top 5 affiliate marketing programs that literally helped me stop living paycheck to paycheck. And that's huge. When there's more, I heard this quote the other day, when there's more month than money, and you're putting off bills, certain bills that you can maybe put off for a month. I get what it feels like to do that because I've been there,
Me
and
too.
it is heavy.
Yep.
So get your butts in the room on Friday. It could literally be the one thing that you do that could change your entire trajectory.
I just want to say real quick, I think a lot of people, because we're so inundated with information and webinars and masterclasses and trainings and all these things, let me just say one thing. What I love about Julie, there's no fluff. There's no like small talk during the webinar. Of course, you're there greeting us but it is literally 20 minutes. She delivers the information so direct, so simply, so easily to digest. And then boom, we're out of there in 20 minutes. And so I'm saying to you on Julie's behalf, like this is a room you want to be in. And the gift that she has for you is something that we've never, ever offered. And it is something that can only be offered during the live. So if you're thinking to yourself, darn, Friday at noon Central Time, I've got something. Look, it is literally going to be 20 minutes. It's not one of these long hour trainings. It's 20 minutes. So if you can pop some earbuds in, listen in, it is going to be so worth your time. And that's all I can say.
Yeah, I'm super excited for it. I feel a shift in my of helping the beginner. And because when you start into this world, if you're not already in it, it feels so overwhelming. And I want to bridge that gap for those. So if you're a beginner, don't let that deter you from coming. Just come back, and it's going to be relaxed setting. Kim said, I'm going to get in, I'm going to deliver the goods, and we're going to get out. And you can go on about your weekend. So yeah, I'm giddy because I have this offer that this free gift, and it just lights me up.
I
It
love that.
just lights me up because absolutely love you, and I are both family focused, and time is what is important to us. So that's why we get in, we get out, and we're going.
I don't want to take up too much time, but thank you for being here with us, by the way. I will say, when you publicly shared where you were before you came to my world, and it was
Mm.
it was that burnout, it was that heaviness. when you talk about what we're doing today, you can see the passion and the excitement and the energy literally oozing out of you. It's like you're a live wire. And I just want to say to someone who is listening right now, you might feel the same heaviness. You might feel exhausted. You might feel defeated. You might feel like you're not making the impact. And all of those things lead to you questioning, should I do this? Should I continue? Should I quit? Am I meant for this? All those things that we ask ourselves. And just like Julie, you literally may be one tweak away from finding that level of passion, impact, and results. I'm so serious.
Yeah, it's like you said, I literally feel it like bubbling up inside of me. It's just one of the things I absolutely love to do. So, Kim, thank you for popping in with me today. As always, I
course.
value your friendship and your time. And we will see everybody on Friday,
Right.
12
bring
Central.
some pom-poms.
Okay. You never know. I may show up in June with pom poms for you.
My husband would love that.
Careful what you wish for. All right, everybody.
Love
Thank
you
so much.
guys. See you
See you
soon.
Friday.
Bye.
Bye.